Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial of mine, and in this tutorial I intend to show you how to create an organogram in Microsoft Excel like this one that you see here. So that is what we want to see how to create. So we just go straight and then start creating. When you open Microsoft Excel, the default display is like this with the cells around it like this. So what I did was to go to the View tab. It opens in Home tab, so you go to the View tab, take out the grid, and you have something like this. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to hop into the Insert tab. In the Insert tab, we're going to Illustration Group. In the Illustration Group, we want Shapes. So here is where we get shapes that we use in building the organogram. And the shape I want to use is this one here. You could use just any kind of shape, but I want to use this one. It's the diagonal corner rounded rectangle. So if this is what it looks like. So we have the rounded corners of the rectangle, and we have these as if they are pointed. So this is what we're going to use. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to, if you look at it very well, there is an outline here, shape outline here. If I use another color, you see it there, so you see it's red. I always love to take it out. So clicking on the shape, you're going to see these tools that you can use with working with shapes. If you don't see it, that's because maybe your cursor is not on it. So like this, you wouldn't see it. But when you click on the shape, you should see it. If you don't, click on the Format tab, and then you would see all you could use to work. So there, I'm going to take out, I'm going to say no outline so that it looks smooth and fine. So that's what we do there. The next thing we're going to do is to give it a feel. You can actually give your shapes feel from here using just different colors that you feel is just right for you. So but this time around I want to use a gradient feel, and pointing to the gradient here, you see I have many other alternatives that I could use as gradient fields. But I want to do one that is custom, and so I'm going to More Gradients, and so I'm right here, and I'm going to click on Gradient Field selected. So what you see appear could be what was last used, or some other defaults that would come up here. So what we actually want to do, let me just take out all of these. So you see, as I take them out, you see it's giving us something different, and that's it. Okay, so we have these here. I want to have a third one, and that will be all I would need. I want to just do a simple gradient a fill just with these three. So I'm going to pick a color. You could pick any color of your choice. So I'm going to pick this, and at this end I'm going to pick something about the same here, and so you can see that we're having some kind of gradient fill here. Now I'm going to take a lighter shade of gray here, and you can see that is what we have here. Other things that could define your gradients are things like the angle it takes. See, the angle it takes, like that. So I want to leave it just at this, and that's because we have it here linear. So if it was radar, we'll have something like this, and rectangle will have something like this, and path will have something like this, but I want to leave it at this. So I'm okay with this. If you're not okay, you can always use different colors to try to come out with something you like. That would be fine. So let's just work with this. So having done this, the next thing I want to do is to get a placeholder for the pictures. So I'm going to go to my shapes here. This was what we used initially. So I want this shape. You might not find it here, but when you look around, you'll find it somewhere. Like here it is. So I'm bringing it out and I want to put it somewhere here. Just align it and then take it a little down, make this one a little bigger, and then this is what I come up with. Now I had taken out the shape outline here. I don't want to take it out here. I want to leave it. And now I don't mind what color it is, the field. It's going to have a picture at the end of the day, but I'm concerned about the outline, the color of the outline. So I'm going to take just any of this, make it a little bigger, come to your shape outline, and you'll see weight lines. Let's just make it a little bigger. Let's use this. So that is what we have. You could use something much more format here. I think the weight is a little too big. Okay, we have that. So that's what we have here. And then the next thing we do, we need placeholders for the name. So we're going to come back, click on the shape. You have your shape tools here. And then we're going to take a text box, use a text box. So here is the text box. It's going to have our first name and whatever will be the last name. So it's going to have that. And you could move it just anywhere. For now, we could leave it justified at the middle, and then we could align it at the middle too, so it just stays at the middle. So I'm going to bring that in here, and what I'm going to do, just position it in whichever way that looks ideal. And then what we're going to do is to just this shape, I'm going to click on it and tell it to move, not just center back. I want it to just go backwards. So that's exactly what I want. Here, it's just gone backwards behind this one. And then we have this. Okay, just want to align it with the boundary there. Okay, so now we have this, and it's coming up, it's looking good. We also would want placeholders for the role of the individual. So we're going to have a role for the individual here. That's going to be role. But for this role, the background color here, I want to make it transparent. So here I'm going to the fill, and I'll say no fill. No fill. Then we know, just like we can see, the what is written there is dark, and we have a dark background. So we want to give the text color the color that will make it stand out. You might want to tilt it to make it italics, to make it fine. And also we'll take out the outline. So this is what it will look like at the end of the day. So we get the role of the individual here. So the role of the individual comes here, and then you could have other things in your shape for your organogram. You could have departments, you could have whatever. You could use textbox to get all those in place. We're going to select all of them, One way you can select them is by holding your shift button or control button and clicking on each of the shapes that make up all what you want to work with. Yet another way is by going to the Home tab, and then you get to find and select and say select object. You click on select object, and then you just hold down your mouse, your left mouse button, and then select like this. So everything is selected. Why am I selecting this? Because I want to group it. I want it to be just one object. So I'm going to come to my Format tab, and then I'll just group everything. So now it's many in one, but I can always treat it as one anywhere you go. So that's fine. And since we've got this, we can now replicate it. So while I select it, I'm going to hit on Ctrl D. Ctrl D helps me to get a copy of what I've done. So that's a copy. And while it's still selected, I'm going to hit Ctrl D again, and it gives me yet another one here. Okay, and let's just get a fourth one. Then take this out so that we can see it. You can always adjust the zoom. Here it's 100%. You could take it as low as this 80%, or whichever is comfortable for you. So you now have these, and I'm going to just pick each of them, or just select all of them, and then Ctrl D gives me another copy. So I'm going to take this as another copy. I'll just put it this way, and there it is. So based on whichever way you feel you want to arrange them, you could do that. Just put mine this way, and so let's just move this a little bit. Fine. And this one, move it a little bit. I don't know. So this should go this way, and this way. Okay. That's just because of how I want to position them. All right, so that's fine. So having got this, we can now start to use arrows to put these shapes together so that it makes sense to the viewer. I think I need just one more, and this one up here. Just about the middle. So having done this, we're ready to use arrows. So while I've clicked on one of the shapes here, click on Format and come here to Insert Shapes and pick Arrows. So I normally use the elbow arrow connector. So this is what I do. So I just come here, and that's it. Now, one thing you notice that I may have done is to ensure that I start at any of those small circles that appears in the shape, and then to another one. Let me do another one for you so that you see what I'm talking about. So I'm taking this, I'm starting, so you see these small circles here. So here there is one. I click on it, hold down, drag to meet another one here. So just as the middle there, I put it there. So why am I doing that? Because it helps to keep my shapes together. So I can move this just anywhere, and they stay stuck to their shapes here. So that's one nice thing with this. So we're going to do that for all others. So here I'm going to just come here. So this is acting like this because it missed that point here. So I'm going to just take it there, and you see it aligns fine and well. Okay, so we just do that for all others. Let's do that for all others. And then we get that set. So you can determine what the weight of each of these arrows could be. If we should choose something bigger, we can do that for all others. Select and then just hit your F4 and it would do that for you. That's because the previous action was to make it this big, so that is what we do here. So let's do that for others. So here I'm just going to go like this and this. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for all others. And there we are. So we have been able to establish at least a relationship in what we have here. So I also want to make this bigger. There could be faster ways for you to make it bigger, but there it is. And just hit your F4. F4 replicates what you just did previously. And so that's what we have here. I'm going to give my background a color. I just select these headers, all of these headers. I'm selecting it, and then let's just use a color that will bring out what we have. So let's just use some black, so it brings this out for us. Okay, so at this point we need to bring the pictures and whatever names that goes with the pictures. I have a selection of pictures here I want to use, and so I will just bring them in one after the other. So to do that, I'm going to, this is John Walkenbach. I'm going to take his picture, copy it this way, and I'll come to this shape, this object here, but I'll double click to make sure that I'm selecting where I want the picture. I want it to be inside here. So I'm selecting this object here, and I'm going to right click on it and say format shape. Once you do that, it's going to come out with this pane here, and you're going to see fill, you're going to see effects, you're going to see shape and property. We're actually looking at the fill here. But this time we're not filling with gradient, we want it to be picture. So I'm going to select picture here, and you can see that automatically it takes in the picture that's in my clipboard. If it doesn't do that, you want to click clipboard here, and it's going to pick just that picture that is in your clipboard, and then that's where you get it. Let's do one more. Let's have this guy come in. So he is going to be here, and we have this here picture here, and see it's giving me what I did previously, but I'm going to click clipboard and it changes it to that which I actually want. So that's what I want here. So that's what you're expected to do for each of them. Any shape, just any shape you choose, you could use this to insert pictures in those shapes. Okay, so here again we have it, and then it's in there. So that's what we have. So that way you could have everything come inside, and then you could see that your organogram is now taking a beautiful look, and that's exactly what this tutorial is helping you. It's helping you to do. So that's how we get the pictures in, and you could do that for just all others. Once you've done that, the next thing would be to get in names inside. So just click on the text box and put in whatever name that you want to put in. So I'm going to put John Walkenbach here. And his role, I can put just anything: Vice President, Spreadsheet Programming. Okay, so Vice President, Spreadsheet Programming. Okay, so that looks very long. Two things you can do while selecting this: you could reduce the size of the font, and then you would have this. So Spreadsheet Programming. Okay, so that's how you can do that. Click on it. Marco Russo. I hope I'm correct. Okay, so that's it. So you could have just any role for it. You could have Power BI. Implementation. So here we could have him as anything, just VP, Power BI implementation, and that's it there. So it stays there and just anybody could look at them. So I'm going to complete the rest, and then in about a few seconds I will show you what it is at the end of bringing in other things. So welcome back, and this is what we have. We have all of these shapes with names and rows and pictures, and this is all possible within Microsoft Excel. So that is what we have here. We could just give this lines a color that brings it out much more better. Yeah, so we can use this, and then I'll go back to using my F4 to do what I just did previously, and that I believe would bring out this organogram. Fine. So that's it. So you can always export this to, you can take it to an application like Microsoft PowerPoint and then put it there. Let me just tell you that you could also do what we have done here in Microsoft PowerPoint. It's just that sometimes you might need more space, and then Excel affords you that space to build something big. You could adjust it to become smaller and move it to wherever you want to. So if I'm to take it to PowerPoint, what I would do is let's have a blank one, and I'm going to take this out, and this is just the black one. And back to Excel, what I do, I will use a tool like I'll use a tool like the snipping tool, and just do this, and whatever it's appropriate, and I pick it. So this is what you would find, and then I just go here and then paste, Ctrl V. So it's in there, could be adjusted to whatever you want, and then you could have it just there with whatever headings or titles you want to put in. So this is just to show you how this is possible in Microsoft Excel, and also in PowerPoint. This can be done in PowerPoint, and I think you'll learn one or two things from it. So if you have, go use it and make some impressive organograms for your company or your business or your startups, and you would enjoy looking at it anytime it is presented. So thank you very much for being there, watching this tutorial. I'll see you in yet another one. Have a nice time.